Get that. This little one out here on the end that's been a singing, and that rascal right there has done hauled off and growed up on me. She's 20 years old, and she just finished school Thursday, and she just wrapped up a bunch of welding school.
I know, it was so hard.
I tell you what, the first day I took her out to school, I literally just squalled myself whenever I left her.
Did you really?
And, yeah, I did.
Right?
Yeah, I had pitched her to the wolves is what I'd done because, well, you see, I got a gun business down there in Woodstock, and I do all this bluing and refinishing guns, and I get a batch of them up about 3 or 4 times a year and do them for folks, and I try to get them in batches to do it, and I needed to redo some bluing tank stuff, and I needed a welder for about 2 days, and I'm too cheap to hire one. So I thought, well, Katie's at home, maybe I can teach her how to weld, and I'll just cut the frames. And so I went down and bought a bunch of metal and got out there, and I showed her how to weld a little bit, and I said, oh, maybe it don't matter if it looks good or not. As long as it holds, that's all that matters. And I said, I'll cut the frames and you weld it together. And that young'un sat out there and welded all day long for 2 solid days outside. Well, she originally wanted to go to cosmetology school and learn how to be a hairdresser. She loved makeup and all that. But
she did my hair.
Yeah, but then she found out that she might have to be digging around in old ladies' toenails at cosmetology school. She didn't like that idea too awful much, so she told me, she said, you know, I like this welding a whole lot. I might like to make a career out of this. And I thought, Lord, she wants to be a welder. And so anyway, she signed up for it. And I tell you, I've grown up working on cars and working in shops all my life. And I just know the kind of folks that's in that business. I pulled up at that school, and there was all those guys out there going in that class, and I had my scrawny little girl out there fixing to send her in there, and I'm telling you, I was worried. I was really worried. I wasn't worried about her not taking care of herself, but I just felt like, Lord, you have thrown your young'un to the wolves. Well, I know how that would be, a bunch of cussing, drinking, smoking, carrying on.
Drinking in class.
Carrying on. Well... But anyway, not too much of it's rubbed off on her, but I think it did make her kind of tougher and maybe even a little bit sweeter.
Hey, she's been preaching to them.
Yeah, well, sometimes when she comes home and preaches to me for a little while. But
I don't really know if I've been preaching.
Yeah, I don't know if you have or not either. But anyway, that's my baby girl right there. We call her Tater Bug, but her name's Katie. That's Katie Weeks right there on the We were,
Seriously, I love people that love me, and I love people that give me food.
Yeah, you see she's skinny bones right now.
That's all you gotta do, and I love you.
Her grandma's always worried about her blowing away. That's all I heard. You feed her, you feed her, you feed her. I was like, man, she eats 3 times more than I do now.
No, after I left home, after I got married, Grandma called me and said, Tristan, I want you to go down to Katie's house every day and fix her 2 eggs and a biscuit. I was like, Grandma, I can't go down there and take care of Katie. She's grown. She can cook her own eggs if she wants them. I'm 20 years old. But there was no telling her. So I haven't told her I haven't been doing it. I hope she just assumes that I've been doing what she asked me to.
Anyway, this one back here playing on the upright bass. We'll be married 29 years this year. God's been so good to us. In 1993, she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and got kind of in bad shape there. Couldn't hardly help herself at times and hardly get herself around. And I just appreciate all the prayers and everybody that took care of us during that time. And I tell you, the Lord gave us everything when He died on Calvary. And folks, we just had to cling to the cross and believe in Him. But here she stands. It's 2012. She's completely healed of multiple sclerosis, and thanks to the cross of Calvary and what God's grace. That's my baby. Well, I call her Sweetie, but her name is Lois.
name this time because she usually says Mama Weeks.
Yeah, Mama Weeks kicks off straight out.
Or forgets to tell a name.
And then this one over here that has, told you that she got married last year, and I tell you that was a glorious event. She had about 300 something people. We threw a full blown barbecue. I mean, it wasn't one of these little old grab you a handful of chips and peanut stuff. She said, I want a barbecue. And buddy, old Hank Bennett that comes up here and camps with me once in a while, he helped me out. He smoked 20 pork butts, and Mike back here, he cooked a ton of chicken. And Lord, we had it. We had enough Brunswick stew to put a boat over it and float around a little bit. We just had a good time and everything. But anyway, that's my daughter Tristan right here, and her husband back here. And Mr. Jerry Tuttle wearing a tie tonight. Jared and Tristan, I tell you, they are really special. And I mean really special.
In the nicest way possible.
No, I do love them to death, but she says, Daddy, she said, I just want to get married. Jared said, I don't care, I just want to get married. We had one bluegrass promoter that drove from 5 hours from Kentucky. He had to be at work the next morning at 6 o'clock in the coal mine. And he drove all the way down there for that wedding. We had folks from about every state in the southeast that came. And she had spent 2 years planning this wedding, and I married them in 7 minutes. And it was over. I said, let's go eat some barbecue. And some people actually looked around like they was disappointed. But she said, I want it simple, I want it sweet. And I tell you, there's nothing better than walking in a room and seeing the people that love you that came from a long ways off. And man, we was all squalling that day. I couldn't even hardly get through it myself.
You should keep talking about it, I'm crying.
All right, we won't do that. Anyway, that's my daughter Tristan over there.
Okay, let's sing a song.
Well, I'll let you introduce them. They threw me a surprise birthday party here today, too.
Yeah, okay,
And it's 3 weeks early.
That's not a surprise. That's why it was surprised. If we had waited, you wouldn't have been surprised. This mysterious man is Bruce Weeks.
He's not that mysterious.
Well, I say mysterious because growing up I had no idea what he was doing all the time. But, well, that's true. He actually is kind of internet famous, to be honest. Because he has more Facebook friends. He almost has like the limit of Facebook friends.
He has
before
more than me and her put together.
Yeah.
And all of our friends come over not to see us, but to see him.
But to hang out with Daddy. So
I got a lot of daughters.
yeah, he's got a lot of people that like him. Last time we came camping, actually, I went up to the office and I told Gina that I was here and that a few of our friends were to come in later, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I heard that some of your daddy's followers are going to be here later." And I was like, "Followers? Daddy has followers?" But he's internet famous for sure. Everyone loves him.
Very big into tweeting, YouTube.
You know what? You just use the tools that God puts in front of you. And I'm thanks to my sister-in-law here and her husband. They do the YouTube thing. They keep us out in front on YouTube. We do the Twitter thing. I have no idea who these Twitter followers are half the time that come along and.
He has more followers than I do, and Katie does.
Well, it just ain't me. It's the band. We,
I think people really like you.
What the good Lord's blessed us with. But they told me here a while back. They said, "Daddy, I want the beard back."
Yes.
And I had kind of kept it. I kept it shaved off completely for 13 years because of the Church of God, and I just kept it cut off. I'd go to those meetings and stuff. Figured I needed to be clean cut in a suit. And then I decided that wasn't cool enough, so I grew me a little goatee back and kind of kept it trimmed up. And then my youngins got to watching Phil Robinson on Duck Dynasty. And they was like, how many of y'all been watching that? And both of them come to me and they said, "Daddy, let the beard grow. We want the beard to grow." So here we are, and we're working on it.
He looks trustworthy.
But I can tell you that if my beard comes out looking like Uncle Si, I will be cutting it off. If it looks like Phil's or some of them other guys, that'll be fine. But if it starts looking like Uncle Si's, it's leaving.
I have found that people with beards tend to appear more trustworthy.
Or meaner, it just really
Well,
depends.
it depends on the kind of beard, but the long beard is trustworthy.
I'm going to buy him an American flag bandana just for occasions.
So you can wear it? Okay, well, listen. No, but
All right, we better
before we
close.
leave, I was going to give you a real introduction.
All right.
This is Bruce Weeks, and I can honestly say that he is the best daddy that anybody could ever ask for. And I'm going to cry. But you should love your introductions. But he's amazing, and I'm grateful to have been brought up with him.
And he's going to be 50.
All right. 1, 2, 3.